Recognize this style, this bag? Of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been the OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low. What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed. Because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control, and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. Three, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
Guys, the peasants have responded.
China, Ralph Lauren, Armani, Nike, Dior, Lululemon, Apple, Michael Kors, Coach, Calvin Klein, Prada, Balmain, Swarovski, Adidas, The North Face, Rimowa, Levi's, Burberry, Versace, Chanel, Cartier, Ferragamo, Timberland, Yves Saint Laurent, Victoria's Secret, Puma, Uniqlo, Disney, Max Mara, Givenchy. The producing cost is only 1/10 of its price. Can you believe it? Follow Helen, your business advisor in China.
Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury.
Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more.
Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have an Hermes bag, and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else, like leathers, zippers, and hardware, remain the same. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer, and be a real person. Buy a bag from us, from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself.
Guys, the peasants have responded.
While people are out here clowning Shane and Temu for being cheap and low quality, the expensive stuff you think is handcrafted in Paris or Milan, yeah, that's made in China too. So what are you really worried about? Come on, your MAGA hat? That's made in China too.
First of all, after finding out what I just found out about the US and China, you know, I want to say I'm highly ticked off. I'm highly upset. 3 years ago, I paid $450 for these Gucci slides at the Gucci store right here in Houston, Texas. And now China done exposed the fact that these shoes right here only cost 75 cents to produce. You know what? Real Gucci slides. I'm done. The hell with these Gucci slides. You know what? Ass over here. China, listen. If y'all watching this, China, I have nothing against y'all. I want to personally say thank you. What they did was wrong. 75 cents for Gucci slides. I got about 15 pair of these things in my damn closet. What the hell's going on, man?
Okay, so China just announced that their new tariffs are going to specifically target red states. And that should tell you something kind of wild. Other countries understand America better than most Americans do. Seriously. Like, they know that if they slap tariffs on things like soybeans, pork, or other agricultural goods, it's not just about the economics. It's political. Because a lot of that stuff comes from red states. Places that voted for McDonald Trump. Places that are key to Republican power. This isn't random, it's strategic. China knows where to put the political pressure points on, and they're pushing on them. They're trying to create pain in areas that are most likely to push Republican leaders to the negotiating table. Meanwhile, a lot of Americans still think foreign policy and trade wars are just about winning or being tough. But this shows that it's way more complex than that. China's basically saying, cool, you want to play hardball? We'll make your own voters feel it. And the fact that they can pull this off, that they understand our internal politics so well, is kind of alarming. Like, they've done their homework. Have we?
So I'm here gonna just hop on this Chinese manufactured TikTok trend. The price they're giving out is pretty accurate. I mean, a lot of stuff is really cheap. Thinking about that, like Walmart, Costco, those t-shirts you're getting, you spend $20, most likely made in China, about like $1 or maybe 50 cents. So whenever you go to China, travel, all that kind of stuff, you don't even need to bring like suitcases. You don't need to bring any check-in cases. You just go there and buy whatever you need and put them in a package box. As long as you not go over like 50 pounds, you'll be fine. Just declare that as a personal use. You can get the makeups, t-shirts, bags, all that kind of stuff. Just personal use. That's fine. Yes, all this stuff are made by Chinese peasants. I wonder if Jerry Vance, why that guy have eyeliners? I mean, if MAGA people are so tough, why he put makeup? I mean, is he a pirate?
Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more.
China this, China that. China exposes luxury brands. China says don't buy from the US, buy directly from us. Yeah. Where's the links? Somebody drop the links. I'm trying to buy some shit. I just filed my taxes yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Mind your business. We got till Tuesday means we got till Tuesday. But I got some money on the way, y'all. I'm trying to buy some shit. Where's the links? Where's the apps? Why are we gatekeeping? Do I need to take a trip out to Beijing? Do I need to take a trip out to Shanghai? Hong Kong? Lijiang? Shit. But anyways, y'all, I got vacation in a month. So if you know the links, if you know the plug, go ahead and drop it down below because I need to know.
Guys, the peasants have responded.
$10, $10, and $10. Always $10. We have 7 colors. Look, app cards, brown, pink, greens, green, black, and coffee. This is warehouse. If you need, please contact me.
Does Lululemon have OEM factories in China? Of course, yes. Xianglong Apparel, Hongqi Shen Clothing. Both of them are in Yiwu City. They supply a lot of yoga suits with good materials and high quality for Lululemon. But the cost is only $5 to $10. They also make products for other famous brands like Fila and UA. If you want to source clothes with good quality and low prices, contact me. I will help you. Well, John, make business strong.
Your Chanel cosmetics, 80% are made in China and cost only $5. They just add the logo in France and charge you 10 to 40 times the price. Close your eyes. If your Chanel cosmetics says made in China, will it feel cheaper? It's not about quality, it's about brand brainwashing. Interesting fact, who makes Chanel cosmetics? 42% are crafted by Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap goods, we do understand luxury.
Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more.
Guys, the peasants have responded in kind with an instant tax refund policy for foreign travelers. Is China treating us better than our own country? When you shop in China, you're going to get 13% back instantly at approved stores. So let's say you buy something for $100, you're going to pay $87, which is a 13% savings or $13 savings in this particular example. Now keep in mind, that same $100 shirt is going to be more than $100 in the US because of tariffs. In addition, China is offering 240 hours of free visa entry, which is 10 whole days. And apparently, a phone call request from the US has been rejected. I guess this is what happens when you deal with peasants.
And to make it a little bit more crystal clear, we borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity. It's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America.
Guys, the peasants have responded.
Do you know who are the suppliers behind Sephora? First, most of the nail products from Sephora are manufactured by Mulance in Shanghai. Second, 80% of their facial masks are produced by TIC, which is the largest biosecular mask producer in China. And eyeshadows are supplied by Zhuhai Shencai. And the lipsticks and blushes and other cosmetic products are actually produced by Taiho Group. Alright guys, that's enough for today. Louis Vuitton and Chanel will hate me if I tell you this, revealing the secret behind big brand. Let's go! Hang Long from Singapore. Or Bodin Gerards for their landscape from France. Tannery Haas. Italian Tannery. Fight. La Britecna from Italy. Guess where I found all those secret suppliers? All in APIF Hong Kong. It's only the first day of this exhibition. There are still 2 more days to go. Don't miss this, come over and check it out.
Are you looking for jewelry supplier from China? Bracelets $2, earring $1, necklace $2, bros $2. This is my jewelry warehouse in Yiwu City. No middleman, no commission. 20,000 kind starting at $1. Follow Mark, make money.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs only ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap labors. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of property, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnant wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave property made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed you lies while they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
I've known this about China and how they produce a majority of the luxury goods for years. I worked for a major fashion women's retailer. I worked at their headquarters for 22 years. Most all of our products were made overseas in China. I had lots of dealings with different vendors, and this is the way business is done. China is cheap labor. If you think your luxury goods are any different, they're just not. You have been brainwashed. From years of experience, I know that the handbag quality, that the quality of the leather, that the quality is the same. Because I can tell you right now, those designer bags are not it, girls. They're not it. You would be shocked.